from 20 years old to 60 years old, your metabolism does not slow down. So when you turn like 40, 45, 50, and you're like, oh, my metabolism is just not the same. That's why I've gained 10 to 15 pounds, whatever. It's actually not the case. What is down-regulating metabolism is actually blood sugar.
Whoa, this is the first time I've ever heard this. So like technically, without that challenge, there's no reason why in my 40s and 50s it should
You can't
slow
be the
down.
best shape of your life.
Whoa.
You get like 200 people together every Wednesday in your community?
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest challenges, to rally people.
And I don't care what kind of business you have to be good at building community.
Community, I think, is 100% key, especially brick and mortar. What we've done is
most people actually don't even know what it's like to feel good. That's the issue.
Ouch.
A high-paced lifestyle. You're burning the candle at both ends. I can't tell you how many guys that I work with that have like just chronic pain issues and stuff.
Wow.
And they just they assume that that's just part of everyday life.
Yeah.
Until you give them some things that start to shift that.
Lindsey, welcome to the Earn Your Happy podcast and the Chris Harder Show.
And the Chris Harder Show.
Both of them, 2 in 1.
We get to
Double duty.
interview you together, which is so fun because you are here at our VIP Weekend Mastermind.
Yes.
And it's been fun getting to spend time with you. And we just got patched up, which
Yep.
we'll tell
Which we'll get
everybody
to.
about in a minute.
all of our
But
liver.
I'm very excited.
Wait,
All of our
instead of a
liver
matchmaker,
is
she's like a
a
patchmaker.
patch
Yeah.
maker.
Yes.
I just patch
Yes.
people up all day.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
so good. All right. So tell us about your background. How did you become an expert in metabolism, and why is that so important to you?
Oh my gosh. Yes. So I got into functional medicine because I had my own experience with just being debilitated with gut issues. In my early 20s, I had chronic IBS, IBS-C, and I would go to doctors in so much pain. It also triggered a lot of hormone problems, anxiety, that gut connection to literally everything, right? And all the doctors I would go to would run labs and they'd tell me, you seem healthy. Everything looks normal. You're within range, right? And I would walk away going, how are my labs normal when I feel so bad, right?
Wow.
The doctors never knew what to do. They would send me to CVS or Walgreens to get any over-the-counter Miralax or whatever. And I'm such a why person. I'm like, but why is this happening? What is causing it? I want to know the root. And so I just went on my own quest 15 years ago to figure out how to heal my own body. And just with that experience, I got credentialed as a holistic nutritionist and then studied women's hormones and just started kind of getting my feet wet with like what not only heals the body, but what causes inflammation. And so when I started coaching other women to heal their own bodies and to support removing inflammation, metabolism seemed to be so interconnected. All the women started coming to me like, I feel like I'm working out, I'm doing all the exercises, I'm eating healthy, but I can't seem to lose weight. My body feels stuck, all this stuff. And we would look at their diet, we would look at their routine, and everything did look perfect. And so just with seeing how the way of the world, inflammation, toxins, and like just healing your body at the core has everything to do with why you might be metabolically stuck and why it's not just important for fat burn, but really longevity, because metabolic health is the root of preventing diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, all these cardiovascular diseases, metabolic dysfunctions. And so it's just so interconnected, and I'm just so passionate about helping women step into truly their highest potential when they can heal their body and optimize from there.
Are men suffering from this as much as women?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like women come to me more, but for sure. I mean, it's like, again, it's the tall story of I'm exercising, I'm eating all the healthy things, but why can't I lose weight? Why is my body not burning fat? I'm just do I work out more? When I work out more, I'm still stuck. So totally.
So many women in their 30s and 40s feel like their metabolism has stopped. You just
Yeah.
said that.
Yes.
So, or that it's just like not working overnight, or maybe there was a big shift in their life.
Yeah.
So what do you think is really going on? I know that you just chatted about all of
What's
that, but let's
really
talk
causing
about
Yeah.
what you are seeing and what you've realized through all of your work.
No, this is so important. So there was a study done out in Duke that showed from 20 years old to 60 years old, your metabolism does not slow down. So when you turn like 40, 45, 50, and you're like, oh, my metabolism is just not the same. That's why I've gained 10 to 15 pounds, whatever. It's actually not the case. What is down-regulating metabolism is actually blood sugar.
Whoa, this is the first time I've ever heard this. So like technically without that challenge, I'll let you keep going in a minute,
Yeah.
but without that challenge, there's no reason why in my 40s and 50s it should
You can't
slow
be
down.
the best shape of your life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like kind of empowering. Keep
It's
going.
so empowering because I think we think with age we slow down, right? But no, what happens is we become metabolically inflexible, meaning our body stops knowing how to go from glucose burning, that's sugar burning, to fat burning, right? It's literally like a switch in the body. And what causes that switch to stop working is accumulation of certain things. So one, it's going to be chronic snacking. So anytime you eat, anytime you don't sleep good, anytime you're stressed, it spikes blood sugar. A lot of people think, oh, my blood sugar is fine, I'm not diabetic, or, oh, I don't eat a lot of sugar, so my blood sugar is probably fine. So that's probably not the problem. But really, it's not just sugar, but even eating protein spikes your blood sugar, not sleeping good, stress, right? And so if you are like a snacker, let's say you're on this like macro diet and you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner with 2 snacks of protein, you're going to have chronically elevated blood sugar all day, which means your body will never have an opportunity to switch from glucose burning to fat burning. The only way to burn fat is literally to deplete glycogen and glucose stores in the body, which really is done through fasting, like stop eating. There's other like biohacking modalities you could do, like cold plunging depletes blood sugar really fast. Sauna will too. There's like different herbs and supplements that you can also look into. But really, like when you are chronically eating all day, snacking, grazing, even if it's super healthy, that was me. Like 15 years ago, I was a snacker, a little rabbit snacker. I would have all the fruits and veggies. I would run marathons, but I was like 20, 30 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
Super inflamed. And it's because my glucose was just always chronically elevated. I never allowed for fat adaptation through fasting. So that's one component. 2 is going to be toxic load. So we all have this like glass, think of your body as like a glass jar, right? And as you go through life, let's say you're 20, you only have 20 years of exposure to like toxins. So your glass is like not quite full. Then let's say you hit 30, 40, and then you're like, whoa, things suddenly shift out of nowhere, but I'm doing everything the same. What happened was you had more time in life to be exposed to toxins, environmental pollutants. It could be like EMF, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, air pollution, parasites, mold, candida. Like your cup gets too full and then it spills over. And that's where metabolic inflexibility will come in too. And if you think of like the world we live in today, how much more toxic it is compared to 20 years ago, right? Like cancer's on the rise. Everything's got toxins in your personal care products, your hair care, the food you're eating, ultra processed, all of that. And so we just live now in a world that is significantly more toxic than it's ever been. And that's also contributing to metabolic inflexibility. And like, we can't switch from fat burn to, or sugar burn to fat burn. Also, liver congestion. This one's really huge and it's super linked to fat burn. So your liver, one of its jobs is to release toxins from the adipose tissue, like your fat tissue. So if you have like high liver enzymes, or if you have congestion in the liver, then your body will not break down the toxins from your fat and they'll get trapped in your fat, which keeps your fat stuck.
Interesting.
Yeah. So supporting your liver is one of the most important things you can do while you're on a weight loss journey or trying to burn fat or retrain that metabolic switch from like glucose to fat burn. There's even a study that showed people who have liver congestion, so high liver enzymes, burn 50% less calories than someone who doesn't. It's like a huge deal.
So why is this the first time we're hearing about things like this? This is wild.
It's groundbreaking stuff. So it's because a lot of people dismiss the topic because they think blood sugar is for diabetics. And they're like, I'm not diabetic, so I'm fine.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, you're like, cool, right? So I am not diabetic. And when I learned about women's hormones, a lot of it was rooted in blood sugar. And I just totally dismissed that whole chapter of the certification. So I was like, oh, I'm fine. That doesn't involve me. But really, blood sugar is the cornerstone of like all of our metabolic processes. It's so important. I think people just aren't talking about it enough.
Is it just newer that we're finally discovering this?
You know what has really shed some light on it? It's interesting.
GLP-1s.
Yep. Okay, so hear me out on this. GLP-1s were not designed to be a weight loss peptide or drug, right? They were designed to help people who had diabetes because their blood sugar was high. What happened was biohackers and people who understood like the biology of, longevity, we're like, wait, if sugar metabolism and glucose is responsible for hormones, fat metabolism, preventing all these diseases, why aren't we utilizing these drugs and peptides preventatively and more so on a biohacking level, right? Like not do it because you're diabetic, now you need this drug. It's more like, hey, you're healthy, but you have some metabolic inflexibility. Let's just see what happens here if we fix glucose, fix insulin. And then what happened? People got on the peptide and lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So you're losing weight because it's regulating blood sugar and insulin. That's what the peptide is doing. It does curb appetite, but at the root, these amino acid peptides were created to regulate blood sugar and insulin for diabetics. So what happens when you regulate blood sugar and insulin? Your body loses weight. It's all about, like, people think I need to lose weight so I can get healthy. Actually, your body first needs to get healthy and regulate blood sugar and insulin in order to lose weight.
Talk to me about microdosing.
Yeah.
GLP-1s.
Yeah.
And what does that mean to the listener that doesn't understand that?
Yeah.
How much is it? How often are you taking it? And what are the benefits?
Okay. So clearly not a doctor, can't prescribe, can't tell you what to do, not do with your body. But I work with a lot of women who microdose with GLPs and have insane results. It's all about the approach.
And what does that mean? Does it mean, are you taking it daily? You take it twice a week? What's microdosing?
It can be tailored, honestly. So it could be once a week. You could split it into 2-3 doses. It is much smaller of a dose where all it's really doing is maybe curbing the appetite a little bit, but the magic really is in the insulin and blood sugar that it's doing. It's regulating insulin and blood sugar. It's helping bring that down so your body gets into a fat burn. And it's all about the approach. So you couple a GLP with strength training and with protein, healthy protein, fats, fiber forward diet, really limit the starches and carbs because those spike the blood sugar the most. But that is a perfect storm for just insane results, like, from a body comp perspective, but also biometrics. I mean, your A1C goes down, your fasting insulin gets improved, and then every other biomarker, even like we've seen GLPs support liver because you're cleansing out the glucagon that gets stuck from liver congestion.
Why are they being hated on so much by 50% of the people? Is it because they're angry they can't afford it? Or is it because they're angry that maybe they're a personal trainer and they're threatened by it? Like, why does half the population seem to fight against it?
I think that people feel like it's cheating and that people feel like it's just like a cheat code and like a diet disaster. But just like with anything, there's a right and wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's your intention with it? Is your intention to take this GLP so you don't have to exercise and you don't have to eat healthy and it's just like, it is your
And
cheat
that's
code?
the bad
That's
knock.
personal constitution, right? So, but like, when you do it the right way and you have good intention, like, I want to heal metabolically. I want to fix, my body and curing insulin and blood sugar, which is not just good for fat burn, but it's also prevents the diabetes, the blood sugar, the cardiovascular, the Alzheimer's, dementia. Then there's just a right way and wrong way to do it.
It kind of reminds me of testosterone, right?
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, that's cheating.
Oh, it used
No,
to be so
you can't just take
faux pas.
testosterone
Yeah.
and sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You're not going to suddenly grow muscles.
Yeah.
But if you take testosterone and go do the hard work at the gym,
Yep.
you're going to get a better return on investment for
Yeah.
your hard work.
Yeah. I truly, like, unfortunately, we just live in an environment where diet and lifestyle sometimes is not enough.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the deal.
It's stacked against us.
Yeah, if you aren't working out and eating healthy, okay, you got to start there. Like,
Yeah.
we have to get the foundations in
Yes.
place. You can't just go to a GLP, right? Like, let's dial in the diet, let's do the workouts, let's support nervous system, whatever. But let's say, I'm meeting with like high performing women that are doing the diet, are doing the lifestyle. They're literally perfect in every aspect, but they are not seeing results and they don't feel great, right? They don't feel like at the elite level that they want to feel. And that's where it's like, why not use these biohacks, these needle movers, and use it the right way, be responsible, but like, again, go into it knowing like this is fixing blood sugar and insulin, and that's the byproduct of the body comp that's happening.
So how do we support our liver then?
babe.
Yes.
Like, what does that look like? You said everything, we should really think about supporting your liver in order to lose weight and feel our best. What
Okay.
are some of the things we do?
Yes. I'm obsessed with the liver. It's funny. My daughter, she went to her like muffins with mom event at school. And the question was like, what does your mom do? And she's like, my mom loves her liver.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Does she love eating more? Does she love
I
Yeah.
know.
liver
I was like,
Liver
pate?
I was like,
paste.
that's what my daughter thinks I do is the liver.
That's amazing. That must mean you talk about it a lot.
I talk about it a lot. And when I first used to talk about it, people were like, what's your deal? Like, I don't smoke and drink. Like, my liver's fine. But the reality is we all have down-regulated livers because we live in a world, again, lots of toxins, lots of stress, unlike any other time in history. They say that our liver is now working 3,000 times harder than it's ever had to work. And so what happens and why this is so important is our liver is responsible for over 500 functions in our body. It's responsible for converting thyroid function, for storing micronutrients, for fat metabolism, for removing toxins from our body, keeping us alive, right? There's like 500 functions our liver is responsible for. So why is it important to support your liver? It's because if you want all those functions working great, if you want to wake up in like elite peak performance, it's all rooted in liver. If you want balanced hormones, we got to support the liver. If you want to burn fat, support the liver. If you're inflamed, all of it, right? So how do you do that? There's so many different ways. Like, well, the detox patch, of course.
You have your patch on.
Of course.
We need to learn all about that.
Yeah. Castor oil. So this is like an oil, not petroleum oil in your car, Chris.
Mobile One.
You asked earlier.
We don't want to.
I rub Mobile One all over myself and crawl in bed. It's great.
Go to bed next to Lori. No, so castor oil has been used in ancient times to help with like healing and inflammation. So what we do is it sounds crazy, but you put it in your belly button or over your liver, any area of the body where there's inflammation. I've had women put it over their thyroid when they have like autoimmune in their thyroid, or even uterus if they have endometriosis, right? Or they like have any kind of tear, muscle, whatever, like they have an active injury. So castor oil, and then with like a heating pad for 30 minutes, and that will activate like blood flow to the liver, and then it will penetrate to like start pulling out those impurities. A lot of women will like sleep with it overnight. The liver does go through a natural detox in the middle of the night. So if you find like you're waking up in the middle of the night, it could be really indicative of your liver trying to flush. And so yeah, castor oil has been really great. I love to use castor oil in the sauna. Do you guys use a sauna at all?
A sauna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once in a while I do.
Okay.
I grew up saunaing.
Yeah.
I love saunas. Yeah.
That's so fun. I'm obsessed with sauna. That's the best way to detox. Like it's so, because your body basically gets rid of, crap from stool, pee, and then sweat. That's like your 3 pathways out.
So sauna is pathway number 4.
Yeah. Sauna is amazing because it gets everything out. And so I'll actually put castor oil over my liver, go in the sauna, and I am like, yeah, it's crazy. Like if I use the castor oil, I will be in an active detox sweating like crazy within 7 minutes. When I don't use the castor oil, it takes me like 14 minutes.
Whoa,
sweat.
really?
Interesting.
Yeah, because I have like this gene mutation where I don't methylate or detox well, MTHFR. So I have to work really hard to detox.
Interesting.
But yeah, the castor oil will like cut the time in half to get me into a detox.
This kind of leads us to your patches. You've created, should I use the word invented?
Yeah.
This really cool patch system.
Yes.
That does different things, different patches for different things.
Yeah.
Tell us, like, first of all, where'd the idea come from? Why patches?
Yeah.
And like, what do you got?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So The Patch Method is a company that I found and started literally this year. And it was birthed from my experience working with women and sitting down with them. We're working on their metabolism. We're going over root cause, like what's causing inflammation, why their metabolism's not working. And they would give me the whole laundry list of all the supplements they were taking. And then within their labs, they're like deficient on half the things they're taking. And I'm like, okay, there is a pattern here. Why are we not absorbing our vitamins? Like what is, and then also people are just tired of taking supplements, like we're just all taking like a mortgage payment of pills every day. And I was like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I was.
Yeah.
You just take them because someone tells you to.
You're like, I need that. Instagram told me I need that too. No, so I was like, there's got to be like another delivery model outside of supplements, taking pills. And I started really just kind of researching, like, how do you absorb a supplement, right? So if you look at the science of absorption, what happens is first, when you take a pill, your liver has to break it down first, right? So if you have liver congestion.
Oh, wow. It's already not doing its job.
It's not going to break it down, right?
Yeah.
So that's pathway 1. Then after your liver, your gut has to absorb it. So we know how important the gut is with Glow-C, right? We got to like support our gut microbiome. Well, if you have IBS or you're not supporting your gut, you don't have a good microbial balance. If you have leaky gut, if you have parasites, right? Your gut is not going to prioritize absorbing vitamin B or really anything. And so with that science, they've shown we are maybe absorbing 10% of our supplements right now, maybe. And that's if they are like not synthetic.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really, it's a big deal. And I think why more now than ever to kind of like bring this full circle is we live in a world today, in a landscape today that is so different from any other time in history. We are exposed to so much more. Our bodies are under so much more stress, and it's causing us to not absorb. Our livers are overwhelmed, right? So that's why we're seeing all this, like, and no one feels great. Everyone feels inflamed. Like no one has good energy. Everyone has brain fog. Like all of this, our body works like so synergistically together. And it's like truly the root cause. And so with the patch method, I saw all this going on, reading about it. I'm like, there's got to be another delivery model. We got to make this easier. And I started thinking like, wait, there's like nicotine patches. And then, there's hormone creams. Like us women will try progesterone or estrogen via cream because the doctors know they can control dosage better.
That actually started in the sports world.
Yeah.
So they would find, I could boost my testosterone by putting on some hormone creams.
Yeah.
And they technically weren't banned yet by sports until they caught on.
Yeah. Because see, and this is all, your skin is the largest organ in your body. Everything that touches your skin goes into your bloodstream. That's why everyone too, in like the health world is like, don't use hand soap that has chemicals in it. Change out your laundry detergent with no chemicals because you're sleeping in those sheets and those chemicals are getting in your blood, your skin, your blood, all the things. And so like the knowledge is there, but it's like, I was thinking like, why are we not doing that with vitamins?
Interesting.
Why are we not wearing our vitamins?
Yeah.
We're doing it with other things. We get the concept. So then I just went to researching like how we could do this, meeting with manufacturers, working with formulators on like, what are different ingredients and herbs that work synergistically together, but not just that, like how do we actually penetrate it into the skin, into the blood so it can bypass the gut and the liver?
Yeah.
So with the patch, it doesn't even have to go through the gut and liver. It goes straight into the
So
blood.
if I'm hearing it right, it creates a shortcut so that it is more bioavailable.
Yep.
Instead of having all these challenges that a traditional vitamin or supplement has to go through. And by the time it gets to the finish line, there's 10% of it left.
Correct. Yeah. And that's why I call it like biohacking made simple. Like it's just even like traveling, you just grab your patch and go. Instead of taking 10 pills, you take one patch, you wear one patch because each patch has like up to 10 different supplements in it. It's not only cost effective, but it streamlines your process and you're absorbing it.
Do you put on a different patch every day? Does it last for a while?
I'll like patch stack. So it depends on what I'm on.
Lori, it's like your jewelry stacks.
It
Yeah,
really is.
honestly, yeah, it's so fun. So we launched the Metabolism patch because again, women were coming to me for that. I'm like, there's a need here. Let's bring out the Metabolism patch. So that one is very activating. I say wear that in the morning. Don't wear it at night. It's great for like wearing right before a workout because it will really activate the fat burn and the energy. So that one's a really fun one. And then
so you put that one on and you feel more energy.
Oh yeah. In fact, I launched my podcast and the next day I was on a podcast and I was so mentally drained. It's the adrenaline, right? You're so like nervous, such a big day. Then you're like, well, now I'm on another podcast. And I was dragging. And then I like put the patch on and I had the best conversation in my life. Like I felt so narrowed in, so intentional, so focused. Yeah. Like,
do you have one here?
Yeah. I gave some to Lori actually.
Oh,
yes.
I'm doing one.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to do a patch stack.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. So that one's a hit. And then the detox patch we're wearing over our liver.
We already have it on.
So I always recommend wear that one at night. So in the morning you got your metabolism, you throw it's a 12-hour patch. You can take it off before you're going to bed. I have like my mouth tape and like everything out at night for me. And I have my patch ready to go. So mouth tape patch, and the detox one has sulforaphane, which activates 3 pathways of liver detox, milk thistle, which supports liver detox, glutathione, which it is an antioxidant, so really preserves cellular function, CoQ10, again, another like fountain of youth supplement, has arnica, great for inflammation and circulation, some Chinese herbs, like really powerful.
So hypothetically, if somebody walked into a restaurant last night and they were handed a glass of champagne and he drank it, and then his buddy bought him an old fashioned and he drank it, and then the waitress brought him a martini, so he drank it.
Yeah.
The liver patch is probably a good idea.
It is a great idea. There's nothing better than like I'll even be getting ready for a date night and I'm like, hey, we're going out for some wine tonight. Got to put my detox patch on, got to support the liver.
Put all the patches on.
I know. Yeah. And then we launched a testosterone boosting patch because again, that was a trend. Like I'm always identifying like, what are patterns here? Like, what are people talking to me the most about? Like, and so, yeah, everyone's on testosterone.
Yeah.
Everyone has low drive, all of that. And so testosterone is great. I'm not against HRT at all, but I'm like, here's an option to boost it naturally. It's using Chinese and Eastern herbs. I work with an acupuncture on formulating it, and it just naturally increases testosterone. So it's a great, thing to start if you feel like your T's low or it's low and you don't want to quite go into the HRT route. The patch is a great modality for sure.
That's really cool. I've got a buddy that he was asking about that. He's like, I just don't want to go the HRT route, but he wants to boost it. So I'm going to send him one. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that one. And then we have the immunity patch because cold flu season, no one wants to get sick, right?
Yeah.
So it's got like vitamin C, D, zinc, elderberry, all the goods to just like boost your immune system. And then
that should be the before you get on an airplane patch.
Oh, honestly, we went to Europe. We went to Italy last month, and my girls are so cute. By the way, these are great for kids because how easy it is. Like, here, wear your patch. So we were on the plane. Yeah, I'm like immunity detox because radiation flying. If you ever like get puffy, like when you go on vacation, you're like, why am I so puffy? Like, oh. Yeah, a lot of that's radiation and flying at high altitudes. And so I find I'll take like a binder, which is like a activated charcoal, if you will, with the detox patch just to kind of support that.
Wait, I need a skinny patch before I go to the beach.
I know.
Abs patch.
An abs patch.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we can make all the patches.
Let's
literally.
do it.
Yeah.
And you will.
Yeah.
And you will. Okay, so where can we get them?
Okay, so you can go to thepatchmethod.com and you can order them there. But I have a really fun promotion for your guys' peeps, your guys' besties. Okay. So if you go to the.patchmethod, it's on Instagram. Find me on Instagram. And I want you to DM me Lori, Lori. And the first 20 people that do that are going to get a free patch kit.
Oh, that's cool.
And then everyone else is going to get $20 off their first pack.
That's
so
cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice of you to do that.
Yeah. So just find us on Instagram. So the.patchmethod.
Okay.
And
DM Lori, Lori.
Yep.
And it'll just
perfect.
They'll automatically either get the free ones or the $20
they'll
off.
know. Yeah. But so race there, run, don't walk.
Yeah.
And the first ones get free. And then
That's
we'll do
awesome.
Yeah. Our
That's
goal
so
is
kind
to
of you.
catch everyone up. Yeah.
So kind of you.
That's so exciting. Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Thanks
I
so
feel like
much
I
for
learned so
having
much so quick. I heard things that I've never heard before.
Oh my gosh.
That once you hear me, like, damn it, I could have just been doing this the whole time. I could have,
Yeah. You'll be surprised. You support your liver, like you'll see crazy shifts. And you'll be still eating and doing all the same things.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
love that.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for
So
sharing
cool.
all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
coming on.
Are you ready to take your business marketing to the next level? Meet Brevo, the all-in-one marketing and CRM platform built to help you connect with customers, boost engagement, and grow your business smarter. With Brevo, you can manage all your customer interactions in one place, nurture leads with their built-in CRM, reach your audience through email and SMS, and keep them coming back with powerful automations. But here's where it gets really exciting. Meet Aura, Brevo's AI assistant. Aura helps you craft smarter campaigns by suggesting personalized content, optimizing send times, and even analyzing performance data to help you improve your strategy in real time. It's like having a marketing expert on your team 24/7. And of course, Brevo offers advanced analytics, seamless integrations, and AI-driven personalization, everything you need to create multi-channel campaigns that hit the mark every time. Get started for free today or use code HAPPY50 to save 50% on starter and standard plans for the first 3 months for an annual subscription. Just head to www.brevo.com/happy and take your marketing further with Brevo and Aura. When you're growing a company, you know that you need good people around you in order to get to the next level. And right now, there's a talented person out there who could take your company to the place that you want. But the question is, do you want to just hope that they see your job posts before your competitors, or do you want to match with them using Indeed sponsored jobs? If I had to hire someone for the show tomorrow, I wouldn't mess around with candidates who look decent on paper, but don't even get what I do. I'd want somebody who already has worked in podcasting and editing and software and understands workflow and can jump in and not only do the job well, but help take us to where we want to go. That's why I use Indeed sponsored jobs. They help you find people who actually fit what you're looking for. Stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. With sponsored jobs, Your post is boosted to reach quality candidates, the kind of people who can help your business thrive and drive the results that you need. And the best part is you only pay for results. In fact, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed are 95% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. So if you're hiring, Indeed is all you need. And I like those stats. So spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed.
Ashley, welcome back to the podcast. You're on the Earn Your Happy podcast and the Chris Harder Show.
It's funny because I've been joking, this is your second time on the show, and a couple other people were as well that we recorded over the past couple of days. I'm like, you're becoming our resident expert on blank. So in your case, you're becoming our resident expert in Pilates and the business of building a Pilates.
I love that.
And truly an expert, because I want to say, like, watching you from even the last time you were here and what you have created with your Pilates studio, and can I just say Pilates community, you're doing something that is insane to me, which you probably don't even realize, but you get like 200 people together every Wednesday in your community.
Yeah.
To go do rooftop Pilates. Mind you, you have a physical location.
2 of them.
To get 200 people together, I think people who are really good at it naturally do not realize that is one of the biggest challenges, to rally people to come together around something. And I think that alone is where I want to start with how you have created this incredibly inclusive community around Pilates, because it can have a stigma of like only hot girls do Pilates or whatever that looks like, or a certain type of person does Pilates, or you have to already be fit, or you have to already be flexible. And I think what you do is bring it's so approachable for all people, whether you're already really into Pilates or whether you have a different body shape or whatever you believe. And watching your stories, because you're in Vegas, but watching who all comes together, I'm like, I want to be a part of that, because it's really a movement that you're creating.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly the goal. It's like a movement for movement. Actually, like we're really blessed because Pilates is in the culture right now. People are talking a lot about Pilates, but that's also kind of a curse sometimes, because people might see a vision of Pilates and think, oh, that's not for me, for whatever reason, whether it's like the complexity of it or the athleticism of it, or just even seeing a hot, beautiful woman in a perfect outfit and just think, oh, like maybe I'm almost kind of like that, like when I get to this place, I can try it.
Right.
So kind of trying to break through that and just get anyone who is called when they see us, like, ooh, I want to try that, is really, truly the goal. And what's really cool about so we did in the summertime, we did sunrise, because in Vegas, it's really hot at night. Well, it's really hot all the time.
Yeah.
But we did sunrise, and there was just something so magical about like 250. And I would say our rooftop classes are probably pretty equal, men and women. We have actually a lot of guys coming out to this class, and just watching like the sea of people on a roof, like, working hard, like planking, and, Pilates is not necessarily easy, but everyone, it's approachable. Like we layer and they have a place to start, but seeing all these people doing this together, and then afterwards grabbing coffee and then when we moved it back to the evenings, it's a sunset and going down for happy hours together and things like that is just really cool to watch. Cause taking an hour of your day to go do something, because you have to drive there, you have to park there. It's hard to do in the first place, but to get people to come do it for movement is really a blessing, and it's so cool to watch.
I want to follow up on this because Lori already emphasized it, building community. And I don't care what kind of business you have to be good at building community. You gave a couple good examples, like the rooftop activations. What are some other things that you've done to build community because you're doing it so well?
Yeah, community, I think, is 100% key, especially, well, I think obviously it works for both brick and mortar and a online business. But with brick and mortar, you see your competition right across the street sometimes, whether it's a restaurant or a fitness studio. And so what we've done, and what I think is kind of where I started, because when you're new, you kind of just are just throwing ideas out there, but giving our clients and people that are finding you, whether it's on Instagram or through their friends, an example of someone who looks like them in the space. So a lot of diversity in our staff, a lot of diversity in our team, the styles of music that we play, the styles of classes that we have on our schedule. Like they're not all advanced, they're not all beginner. We're giving a lot of variety and times for them to come, and kind of just showing them that it looks like a lot of things. It doesn't look one specific way. And hopefully in that way, you will see yourself somewhere in our community. And then involving other businesses in your activations, not just like keeping it to yourself.
Oh, that's smart.
Finding other collaboration. Yes. And collaboration within your community, not just a national brand, like not just like getting a water brand or energy drink. I think finding, like for us, it's other wellness or beauty or clothing. Like, I have a local girl who makes swimsuits who's going to do an activation with us. And, so there's just a lot of ways and creative ways, I think, to bring other spaces. And it's one of those things that I know Lori preaches a lot, but like, what can I do for you? So it's like, we're helping each other out.
Gosh, you do so well at it.
I love that. Okay, so we want an update because last time you were on and your podcast came out, so everybody may have already like heard part of your story. Last time you were here, you were talking about the move into a bigger, more exciting studio, and you had just completed the build out, but you were also worried about whether or not your students would follow like the 4 miles because it was like very different. People were kind of putting up a like, this might be challenging. Tell us all the updates.
Yes. So as of today, we have been in the new space for about 2 weeks. So it's still very fresh. We're still
I've been loving the stories.
We're still
so beautiful.
Paint is still drying. But the space has been received so well. I think we prepped them in enough time to give them like chance to wrap their head around like, okay, well, the drive might be farther for me. For some, it's closer. So we had like a win-win for a lot of people because they were super like, that's closer to my home, which is beautiful. But the people who I think at first were hesitant or resistant kind of had some time to think about it and kind of wrap their head around whatever the commute might extend to. And then we really packaged it up with like, we're offering you guys more. So yes, it's more space and more reformers, more people can get off those wait lists. But also we added 2 other classrooms that we've already started sprinkling in other classes. And I can't believe how excited people are about the other equipment. Like Pilates actually has more than just the mat and the reformer. There's a Cadillac trapeze contraption that
I want to try it.
Yeah, it's super fun. And then there's a chair and there's spring-loaded other exercises. And I just having them, we did a glass door so like people can like walk past and like peek in on their way into the reformer room. And I can't build the schedule up fast enough. Like the new classes are already filling up, which is incredible. And it's giving people variety. It's still Pilates. We're not really changing. It's not like we're adding a whole new method to confuse the messaging, but adding more for them to try and shake up their day and, give them something more like another exciting thing to try.
That's so smart. I've actually not seen a studio like that I've been to where there's a lot of different options, because if you like one form, you might like the other form. And I also love that you did glass doors because that's already your ideal customer to be like, look at this. It takes a little bit of the intimidation factor away with also making them curious. And one thing I know about people is most people like variety. So if I ever, kind of get bored with one class, you have multiple challenges for people to move into, even if challenge just means something different than what they're used to. Love that. Mm-hmm.
And that's smart because it retains, like retention is a big thing in business. It retains your students when the natural human need for curiosity takes over.
Yeah.
Right? They're either going to be like, oh, maybe I should now go try bar. Maybe I should go try this. But instead of them having to try something radically new, they can try the different reformer, they can try the different class, that kind of thing. So it helps out with retention.
And you're absolutely right. People naturally, whether they love Pilates for life, they still might want to try something different because your body just craves it. Yeah. So I think this is a great way to like keep them in our community. Even if they still, branch out and go to yoga or go to CrossFit, when they're with us, they know that they've got a couple other options than just the same class, especially if like the hardest part is like scheduling. We can't forecast when all of our advanced clients want to come. And so like if we put like a Reform 2, more advanced class on at 7 a.m. and then it just happens that like a lot of first timers also want to come at 7 a.m. It's hard to know when and how to forecast for that. So having, we might have an advanced class in this room, but in this room we have a mat class and they're doing more bar, or they're doing a little bit more, TRX or something that might be kind of a fun little, mix it up. And so then they don't necessarily are like committed to that specific class and that specific hour.
So smart. You're thinking long-term, and a lot of business owners are just thinking, how do I fill tomorrow's class?
Yeah.
And you're thinking retention by making these moves. It's absolutely brilliant. Question for you. You have 2 studios now, and I know you want to scale to many studios. I think we kicked around the idea of 10 of them, right?
It's still there.
How do you do that? And I'm not talking about building community now. That was a different question. How do you keep the actual culture and heart and soul of a business when you go from 1 or 2 to like 10 locations?
Yeah, I think that is the golden, like, miraculous unicorn question.
You're like, I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
what do you think you're going to do?
So there's a lot of things. Obviously, you have to get organized. You have to have systems in place. And I think what I'm really coming to find is that hiring, obviously making beautiful hires of people who also love the community as much as you do, so that even though you can't clone yourself as much as we try, that people are experiencing the same types of experiences in each place. And I think that part of what we do, and in not just focusing on aesthetics or not just focusing on certain people, certain body types, we're creating a lot of magic within. So we have staff that's keeping the community and keeping the soul of the brand together, but so are our clients. Like I see our clients like, oh, you're new here, let me show you around. Yeah. So it kind of just trickles down throughout the whole space if you set the tone. But that is, you definitely have to work hard at that. It's systems, it's over repeating, kind of your message and saying it again and again. Like, we are the good place, and we think everyone should be here. We think everyone can do this. We think everyone should try it at least once. And we can't wait to have you back.
That's brilliant. Culture is what's repeated. Mm-hmm. So you're doing the repeating, quote unquote, of the message, the culture, the everything. And then what people hear in repetition becomes truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of just starts to be an echo that even when you're not there, it's still there.
That's so good. I think it's one of the biggest pieces. I am such a critiquing person when I go to classes, because it's like
Judgy McJudgerson.
I wish, it's funny, I want to start this show called like Vibe Check, where I go to all these different places and I'm like, you're missing the vibe check.
You're not passing the vibe check.
You are not like setting the tone of culture from the top down. Because when people go to classes, we typically go because yes, we want to work out, but I think 50% or more are going because they're lonely, or they want community, or they can't be motivated on their own, and they want somewhere that they feel accepted, and like that you show up and people know your name, or you feel good about it.
Like Cheers.
And I think most workout places are missing it, because I think you go and you check in, and I think maybe the front desk girl could be friendly, but I think right away I can know by how I get in the room, and if everyone's on their phone or doesn't look at you, or none of the members want to talk to you or ever talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this actually a place I want to be if this is how it is? Because otherwise I could work out alone at home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or you could just go to a gym and run through a program.
Exactly.
On a YouTube video. Absolutely.
But like, community is what you're doing is it helps everything repeat without you being there. What would you say? Because I know you explained it a little bit and it's from top down, but what are some tips that like that doesn't happen unless you are truly like really instilling that into people in a certain way? How do you teach people to be that way?
That's really hard. I think the good news is that people who don't agree with that or don't feel that way kind of trickle out.
They do.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're upholding that standard, they're going to feel uncomfortable. They're going to self-select out.
I think so. Because you'll see it sometimes even with clients that prefer to not be seen, like prefer to kind of just have the head down and, and like, hi, what's your name? Like, is this your first time? Like you can tell
this place is annoying. I gotta
sometimes they're like, and maybe they leave with a smile by the end and they're like, oh, because sometimes I think it's kind of scary. They're like, oh, they're talking to me, because they're so used to the other. But so some of that I think self-selects out and kind of goes away. Like, oh, they, that isn't the place for me. I'd rather just get in and get out. But having more people feel safe and like, making a friend, or like, hey, I see you. We're here at the same class every single day. Like, what's your name? I watch it happen. It's great. And my staff go to movies with the clients. Like they're all just, there's just such a community. And I think in exercise, you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, I think a lot of people know it, especially if they're new to it. But you're putting your body out there. You're sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of things that like
a lot of new things. Like most people have not done these Pilates.
What if I look silly?
Yeah.
I was so intimidated. This was 2 months ago and all I did was work out and I was intimidated.
Yeah. Because there's something about it, like the apparatus, and we keep the lights dimmer. So like we definitely do some things to make it more comfortable so you don't feel like you're on display. But because of TikTok and because of social media, people just feel like I need to look like that, So I think that the fact that we kind of celebrate the fact that like, hey, we all just survived that class together. Like, and we just really are championing everybody and encouraging not the crosstalk during class, but before and after. And, hey, like who went to this concert last night? Or like, we're playing this, like, it's just, there's a lot of conversation and we're trying to like bring the clients in with us and not just like the teachers are chatting over here, and just trying to keep that a consistent, and you almost don't even have to force it. If it keeps going, it's going to keep going. So that's just, I think it just happens naturally. I couldn't believe how many of the newer or the clients at our new space I saw giving other clients tours.
Wow. That's
you know
cool.
what I mean? Because like our new space is so much bigger. They have to like walk back down the hall. And if the front desk was busy, I saw like twice in the last week, like, come on, I'll show you.
Oh, they're taking like little leadership roles.
Yeah, let me show you how to do the lockers, like things like that. So it's really great when you see it happening, not just with your staff, but with your students.
So cool.
I think a lot of that is like you are community based and you have meaning, like you do community events. You truly are about community. You're not just like, okay, we're just going to do these classes and then you leave. It's like, we want you in the community. So now come to this event. Now it's kind of like mingle and come and join this thing. So I think there's so much that you're putting out there and how you are inclusive and how you do show up. And so much is from the top down of how you are and that you're friendly and you attract people like that.
That trickles into your, you've got a really unique teacher training program. Tell us about that. Why is that important? So
the teacher training program was important at first as a necessity.
Yeah.
It's like there's not enough teachers. The demand for classes.
You had to create your own.
So it was like, all right, who wants to learn how to be a teacher? And to be fair, shout out to Molly, my first trainee, but she kind of like forced me. I was not quite ready time-wise and capacity-wise. And she was like, please, like, I really want to be a teacher. Like, take me on as kind of like an apprentice. And so it kind of started with her, and it was just so rewarding and so much fun. And it was a chance for me to kind of take Pilates and all the great things about the classical work and what's amazing about Pilates, but instill the things that I was trying to do at the Good Place in her as a coach from the top, so that she didn't first learn how to be a Pilates teacher and then learn how to treat people well and then learn how to cheer on, the client that's struggling. She got to do that while she was in teacher training. And so then I kind of realized that's something really magical that we can do here. Because even if they coach many other kinds of exercises, they're not just going to be, I like to use the word coach more because I feel like, yeah, you're a teacher trainee and you're learning how to teach Pilates, but really you're coaching people through movement. And it's important. Again, the vulnerability aspect of what the client is trying to do in front of you, and how can you make them feel safe so they'll go for it.
And it went from something that was a necessity because you had to find teachers to now it's like a really cool program that anyone who wants to become a Pilates instructor can come and learn from you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of part of the reason why we expanded. It was also to create more space for that aspect of our business, because the teacher training program is, as much as I love teaching Pilates and running the business, like training the trainers has become like magical. And it's just so much fun. And then watching them grow, like watching them take their first class to their first group class to, they've been teaching on that rooftop with me.
Yeah.
And that's just so
if I live in Miami and I want to learn from you, if I live in Wisconsin, I want to learn from you, I can come take your teacher training.
Mm-hmm.
That's
absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah.
And can you do it online yet, or that's coming potentially?
Online will be coming.
Okay.
Right now, it definitely is in person. Because we did expand, we used to have a program where it took about 6 months and you would come on weekends. But with this new space and this new expansion in 2026, you will be seeing it kind of more condensed into they could probably come and stay with us in Vegas for maybe like 2 weeks and get the in-person
That's
and then work
cool.
it out, I think, virtually the rest of the way.
If they want to get
Nice.
on the waiting list for that, where do they go?
They'll go to our website. If they go to thegoodplacelv.com, there is a drop down for teacher training to get on the info sheet.
The
And
Good Place LV is in Las Vegas. Thegoodplacelv.com.
If I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I'm
Yeah,
like,
you would.
I feel like
you
I
would
would
You would.
love.
You would be
I
a
used to love
perfect
to teach
Pilates
like
coach.
boot camps, but I'm like, this would be so.
I mean, listen, never say never. Next chapters.
Honestly, I know a lot of women who we're meeting because we're going to Pilates, me and my friend, and we are meeting so many women who have other jobs, but they love being a Pilates teacher so
Yeah.
much, Pilates coach, because it's so like fulfilling
It's
to
so
have that
rewarding.
in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope this plants some seeds for some
Yeah.
people. If you're even feeling
Maybe I'll
like,
become one.
yeah, I don't know.
I do have a really special person that I coached to become a Pilates teacher over the past 2 years, my mother.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Come
she,
on.
On her 60th year of life, she was like semi-retired from the tech world. She consults and she was helping me a lot. And then she was loving it and she was getting her strength and osteoporosis diagnosed. So like she was very conscious of needing to build muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And found herself in the studio a bunch. And I'm like, why don't you just learn how to do it? So she went through the program and she's like one of our most popular teachers.
Oh
guys.
my
That's
God.
so cool.
Wait,
It's
that is magical. That is
so
so
cool.
special and so much purpose. It's
Yeah,
incredible. I
It
love
is.
that.
It's
Mhm.
I love watching, and most people don't know. The cat's out of the bag now, I guess, but most people don't even know that she's my mom.
That's so
And it's
cool.
really fun when I get feedback on coaches and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I just really love Sue's classes," and I'm like,
Go Sue.
"Yes,
Go Sue. All right.
Mama
so
Sue.
thegoodplacelv.com. And what's the Instagram?
the same at the Good Place LV."
All right. Love it.
Mhm. You guys should go and follow it, even if you're not in the area, because you know you're going to visit Vegas anyway. So
Yes, come see us
Mhm.
anytime
you
you're
can
in
come.
Vegas.
go drop in.
Make
What a
it the
great
one
spot to
thing that's
drop
not a
in.
sin that you do there.
Yeah, exactly. But you'll look so good, it's sinful. Okay. We can take that out.
No, I love it.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
You're the best.
Aw.
Yes, so are you.
If you're just starting your business or you're looking for a really good foundation in your business, start with Northwest Registered Agent and get access to thousands of free guides, tools, and legal forms to help you launch and protect your business all in one place. Build your complete business identity with Northwest today. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow business for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the US with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws, and can help you and your business every step of the way. Build your business identity fast with Northwest Registered Agent and get access to thousands of free resources, forms, and step-by-step guides without even creating an account. Sign up for a free account to begin managing your business hub with lawyer-drafted operating agreements, bylaws, resolutions, membership certificates, bills of sale, and more, all at no cost. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free. You know that moment when a meeting ends and someone says, let's remember to circle back on this next week. Everyone nods, but no one writes it down. And next week rolls around and everyone forgets. That's why Granola exists. Granola is an AI-powered notepad built for the way real people actually meet. Here's how it works. You take rough notes like you normally would, and in the background, Granola securely transcribes the meeting. Then it turns everything into a clean, structured, actually useful notes when the meeting ends. And the best part is that Granola works through your device's audio, which means it integrates seamlessly into the video conferencing tools you already use, and there's no setup and there's no awkward bots. It's just your normal meeting with superpowers. So you get to actually listen instead of frantically typing every word and still walk away knowing exactly what was decided, who's doing what, and what comes next. And I have to tell you that before using granola, my meetings were very much the classic entrepreneur chaos where I jumped from mastermind calls to team meetings to partnerships, scribbling notes everywhere, then spending extra time afterward trying to piece together action items or remember what we actually decided. So the first time I saw granola's notes after a meeting, I was honestly shocked by how organized and complete everything was. It felt like getting my brain back. Now I can actually stay present in the conversation instead of worrying about capturing every single detail. So if you're in a season of big vision, big conversations, and a lot of moving parts, granola makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. If meetings are eating up your day, granola is a no-brainer. You can try it totally free for 3 months. Just head to granola.ai/earn. That's granola.ai/earn to get your time back. Get 3 months free at granola.ai/earn.
Matt, welcome to the Earn Your Happy podcast and the Chris Harder Show.
Yeah,
I'm excited we get to interview you together today.
So this is actually a real treat for me. You are somebody who is not just my PT for helping me recover from my torn bicep and my torn shoulder. You're not someone who is not, just my personal trainer as well, right? So physical therapist, personal trainer, but you've also become a really good friend over the years. And so it's exciting to sit down and be able to kind of tell the story as to what makes you so special, because people need to understand just how special of a human being you are. So let's start right there, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a nutshell, how do you describe what you do? Because when I describe you, I'm like, oh, Matt's this badass doctor of physical therapy that just works with Olympians and Navy SEALs and once in a while fits guys like me in. That's my description of you. How do you describe what you do?
Oh, geez. I always joke that I am probably your worst physical therapist because I don't act like a stereotypical one. The guy that you picture laying people down on a plinth and stretching their hamstrings and a bunch of stuff like that. That's not my forte.
Yeah.
I'm very much a go against the grain type of guy, and I like to think outside the box. Mm-hmm. And with that comes a lot of practice of solving puzzles. And that's my forte.
Yeah.
I'm very much a puzzle solver. I love diving in deep and seeing what each person's unique dots connect to form to help them move better. And that's really where I enjoy thriving. So I love to tie in all of the different disciplines in the whole entire allied health profession, which is your psychology, your strength conditioning, your movement science stuff. And so I use all that to create a pattern that is uniquely yours. And that's how we develop and reverse engineer a program to get you better. It's not a very siloed, like we're just going to focus on your shoulder, for example.
Yeah.
You felt that. It wasn't just your shoulder.
No.
You're looking at
whole
the
body.
whole body, the whole system. And that's where the magic happens.
And everything's changed. It wasn't, hey, let's just get your shoulder and bicep back. It's now my posture is better and I feel lighter on my feet. Like things that wouldn't be normally related to recovering from a shoulder and bicep surgery. What's the difference between working with a civilian like me or an Olympic athlete? No, I know it probably sounds funny.
Don't downplay yourself.
I've got to assume, you work with mostly Navy SEALs and Olympians and then got a few guys like me.
You're an Olympic entrepreneur.
Yes, I'm an Olympic entrepreneur. But what's the difference? So how do you approach those differently?
Well, it's interesting too, because I'm usually the guy that everybody comes to when they've tried everything else. I get the ones that have been down every single path you could possibly go down. And I'm left with trying to figure out why things didn't work. And so when it comes to, it doesn't matter if it's an Olympic athlete that I work with all over the world, a high net income earner like yourself, or a tip of the spear Navy SEAL guy. Everybody has a human body, right? And so we all abide by these very, very similar principles, but it's really just about making you exceptional. And that's really why you came to see me from the beginning as well.
True. I wanted to be the exception.
You wanted to be the exception to the rule. And so it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete or just an everyday civilian, as you call it. Everybody has a body, whichever means everybody has athletic potential. And that's the foundation that we work from.
Who works harder, me or a Navy SEAL?
There's a very, I give you a lot of credit, dude. I love our sessions together because you bring the energy and you bring it, and it's so much fun. And it's been a joy, and it's been so much fun watching you progress over the last few months with everything too. And it's a testament to how much you put the work in and you see the results from it. And to be fair, the SEALs will put their head through a wall to spite their body, but you do it a little bit more intelligently.
That's a good answer.
It's been, I will tell you, it's been so much fun having him work with someone like you and at your level and just who you are and how you are, just the type of person that you are and how you show up, because it's actually impacted even myself and our relationship. And I think it's so important for people to hear, like, when one person in the relationship is working with someone amazing and is kind of going all in on their health, like, it really does lift everybody up, because he comes home and he's excited about the progress he's made. He's excited about what he's learning from you, because it sounds like you take like a very teaching approach as well for them to understand what they're working through. And so it's been such an awesome thing for our lives, because I'll say that when, you know, he quote unquote broke his shoulder, like tore his bicep, like that was a defining, I think that's such a defining moment for people when they come to you, of their character, of what they're choosing. Like, am I going to get better? Am I going to find someone who actually believes that I could get even better than when I started? Or am I going to let this be like the thing that, oh, I tore my bicep, everything went downhill from there. And so I love that you are so about mindset as well. And it's like, no, we're going to put our North Star of what we're really hoping for and what we want to do, and we're going to go there. So it's been really cool just to watch the progress. And I think that's important when people are listening to this, of looking for somebody who's also hopeful for you and is like, no, we're doing this together. We're doing this as a team. So that is amazing. And I love that about you. So for somebody listening who feels stuck, maybe they've tried every diet, every workout plan out there, what's the shift in the mindset or strategy that they need to really like reclaim their power for their health?
I think it all has to, and this is from my personal perspective too. Like, my whole goal with anybody that I'm working with is to develop the rapport and instill confidence in you. It's really all about buy-in. Like, you knew about me, you knew what I did, but you didn't really know how I work, how I operate. And my whole goal in the beginning is, let's educate you enough to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. And that serves as the foundation. So I think that most people, when they get into the physical rehabilitation space, if they're working through an injury or want to achieve some type of a goal, they never stick it out long enough. Right? We all expect this really big, immaculate recovery. We expect some type of really quick fix. That's the mindset of the instant gratification world that we live in right now. And it's just not the case when it comes to rehabilitating from an injury or achieving some type of performance goal, like getting that 1% better that I do with my athletes. And so everybody wants to be optimal, but they don't know how to integrate everything together. And so I can get you strong. I can make you strong in 6 weeks. You'll feel stronger. I can hypertrophy muscle in like 12 to 14 weeks. Not a big deal. When we're changing over connective tissue, we're working on capacity of tissue, like even with the shoulder you have, making it stronger, building the integrity of it, that takes 8 to 12 months to do. And that's a long process. Yeah. That's a long process. And it's on me then to be able to have to keep you motivated throughout the process as well, by changing things up, making sure you're understanding where you're going and providing those North Stars and navigation points, so we can always focus on where we're going, but then have these little milestone markers along the way.
Where do most people give up? So I know everyone asks you like, oh, you work with high performers, what do they all have in common? That's a great question. I think the better one is, where do most people give up, or where do they drop the ball that you wish they wouldn't?
Right at the halfway mark, typically.
Wow, really? The halfway mark.
Yeah, because listen, a lot of PTs are really good at reducing pain and eliminating pain. Pain is just information, though. It's telling us where we need to start to pay attention to in the body. And like, even with your shoulder, I'm sure you've had some type of pain going on inside that before you even tore the biceps tendon, right? Yep. And so it's telling us that it's there that we need to address. But pain is never a great metric of success. I can give you a rub down right now on the shoulder, Chris, and you're going to feel better. Let's get out of here. Yeah. Take the shirt off.
He's like, that sounds great.
That's what the people see your progress so far.
Yeah, oil him up.
looking broad and beefy, baby. Anyway, so they stop when things start to feel better. And that's usually the point where you got to like make it suck just a little bit more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They have to find the pain point. Wait, I talk about this a lot. Like, good is the enemy of great. And so the reason why people typically don't do what it takes in business, because that's where I apply this, is things get pretty good. And so they stop feeling any pain points. And this is where I tell them they have to manufacture pain points. Like, you have to picture, if you don't go this far, what are you going to be without? Who's going to suffer? What is something catastrophic that can happen if you don't keep going? You have to manufacture pain points when things get good, or you take your foot off the gas, or in your case, like you said, quit.
Yeah. And it's really interesting too, because we reduce the pain. People they're feeling good and they want to go right back into whatever high level activity they're doing. But that's also kind of like the sticking point, the weak point, where it's like, ooh, maybe you're not actually quite ready there. Maybe the tissue doesn't have the capacity to handle all the jumping and landing that you want to do, or going out and playing like flag football. And then, all of a sudden we're tearing Achilles and rupturing ACLs. I saw 3 of them when I was at Duke doing my doctorate, just like 22-year-old kids.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all those like we don't see it coming moments that happen after the fact. So we need to focus on what that ultimate goal is going to be, but then also understand that we have to manufacture those pain points. So I will challenge you to do things that are going to make you uncomfortable and push you to that next level.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally all I can hear are the parallels to entrepreneurship.
Yep.
As you're talking, I'm like, it's exactly the same. I feel like people quit at the halfway point, and you have to manufacture new pain points in entrepreneurship of like figuring out new skill sets, or what's going to happen if you don't reach your ultimate goal, like pulling that pain forward. Mm-hmm. So for mindset, because I'm so interested, because I know that that's such a huge piece of what you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I think it's probably outside of, obviously you study and you're brilliant in what you do, but to get people to keep on showing up, like what would you say, because you do work with such extreme athletes, Olympians, people who are insanely like wealthy and successful, what would you say that you have noticed from just everyday people in your life? What is different about them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic question. It is coming down to that mindset too, because what I have to do as a PT, I think as any coach is trying to get somebody where they can't take themselves. Mm-hmm. Because that's how I view myself. And so the ultimate goal is to be able to figure out why they think the way that they do. Mm-hmm. How does their brain work? And what's really interesting about the parallels between all the entrepreneurship and the high level military personnel and the Olympians as well, or professional athletes, is that they are all in a mindset state where they've achieved so much, and they're trying to get to what that next level is going to be like. Mm-hmm. What's going to help them get that 1% better, and they're willing to typically try anything at that point. And so I have to understand, okay, from a motivational standpoint, what is it that gets you up every single day? What is it that is going to be your purpose, and what is the purpose behind the purpose? Mm-hmm. Right? And so with knowing that information, we can always come back to that ultimate, that anchor point, mm-hmm. so to speak, that is the driving force behind why they want to create the change. It's not just about like, hey, I want to get my shoulder better. Yeah. We established a goal with you that came up just super randomly, right? Which was getting an iron cross.
Yeah, doing iron cross on rings.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so that's a driving force for you. Like, we can get your shoulder feeling better. We can get you back into the gym, but
like, you've leveraged that goal to do neat shoulder recovery things.
Correct. And once again, like, I put you in some pretty uncomfortable positions. Yeah, very. And what do? We explore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We explore. And I like to make it fun and playful. And that's what this should all be about. Yeah. It should be enjoyable.
Yeah. And you make it that way.
Yeah.
I want to switch modes real quick. Yeah. The whole world seems to be obsessed with biohacking and anti-aging and all this stuff. And you've got a lot of unique perspectives around that. Are you pro biohacking, anti biohacking? What's a bunch of bullshit out there, and what works?
Mm-hmm. Well, the answer to the question is yes, everything works.
Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody wants to be optimal. So especially in this space, like looking at high level entrepreneurs and the Olympians in the military, is that they usually had the means and the connections to be able to go deep down any single one of those paths. The problem, though, is that it may not be integrating well with your body. So what you see is, and this is the big frustration, and listen, I've been down this path many, many times, where it's like, we've got the coach, we've got the PT, we've got the nutritionist on the side. Maybe we have this like supplement stack from Instagram that we heard about, right? And we're trying the new trendy thing, and we'll invest all the time,
Chris,
all the energy.
I'm like, is this from TikTok?
TikTok gets me a lot.
Experiment though. Yeah, that's fine. We invest all this time and energy going down those different paths. The problem is they're not working with the actual biology of that human being sometimes. And so what ends up happening is you can just be spinning your wheels and you get frustrated. You don't spend enough time on each and every single one of those. And they may have their own unique value, but if they're not working for your body, at worst, it can be very counterproductive and then setting you back. And I like I said, I took myself down this path. I remember being in graduate school trying to compete in CrossFit competitively
Yeah.
while also
Wow.
trying to eat low carb, basically keto.
Oh God.
Jeez.
Your brain is
Recipe
just
for
like, what
passing
are you
out.
doing to me?
Because that was what was trendy at the time. You had Rob Wolf and the whole paleo diet solution thing, and like he was doing his jujitsu with it, and that got really popular in the CrossFit community. So now, once again, you're marrying two things that are on their own probably very good as an intervention, but together they're detrimental. Trying to go high intensity output, trying to burn a lot of sugars, but then also not consuming any. I was bonking. I had no sex drive. There was testosterone that was super low, and I'm 22, 23 years
Yeah.
old
Oh yeah.
and can't perform.
Yeah.
Like brain fog and all that. And I thought I was doing everything right. And this is actually a really, really big one that I see across all these high performers, is that they go deep down this path and you end up overstressing the body.
Yeah.
So overstressing the gut, overstressing the musculoskeletal system, overstressing the nervous system, maybe not even sleeping well at night. And it's just, it all compounds. And then especially in men, you see this play out in a lot of like high levels of cortisol, which give you that little like fluffy tire around the belly.
Yeah.
You start to get some of the man boobies.
Bitch tits.
Bitch tits.
Yeah.
The bitch tits. Or like our buddy Kyle. We should probably edit that out.
No, we're leaving that in. Kyle, we're leaving that in.
And you start to see this play out. So like the pattern recognition piece. And so all of a sudden we have to go back now and like, okay, let's take all this away for a hot second, right? And let's figure out what is actually working for your body.
Yeah.
And this is where all the testing and stuff comes in. So looking at your gut test and looking at the blood work and what your diet looks like and what kind of goals you have from a performance standpoint. Is there inflammation in the body? What are your lifestyle factors? Are you sleeping enough? Are you stressing yourself out with work and relationships and family throughout the day? Because at the end of the day, this is all about stress management. That's the name of the game.
Related to that, do you see a big problem in both men and women right now in terms of either testosterone and hormone levels? Is it a bigger problem than it used to be?
Big time. Absolutely. Yeah, huge. I mean, men's testosterone levels is super low, all-time low, worse than what it was in like the 1950s and 60s.
Why?
There's so many variables involved. There's a lot of environmental stuff, a lot of the antibiotics and the hormones and stuff in our foods and the pesticides. But then also men aren't just as physically active as we used to be either. And so before we even go into any of like the peptides and the hormone supplementation, like there are some base level, I think, markers that we need to hit for, especially for men, women too, and actually more so with women on the sleep side of things and the nutrition. It does change slightly. Like for example, guys can get away with typically of fasting in the morning and not eating. I don't eat until like 10, 11 o'clock. But women, on the other hand, depending on hormone levels, need to eat first thing in the morning. Okay. There's little nuanced changes like that. But for dudes, it's like, are you sleeping enough? You're getting like 7-8 hours of restful sleep too, not just the hours in there. Are you eating enough fat to optimize your hormone levels, enough protein to support your muscle mass, enough carbohydrates to support your energy level? And then are you lifting heavy shit?
Yeah.
Plain and simple. If you're not doing all three of those first, that's where we start. And then we can start going down into the weeds of all the other exogenous type of supplementation once we get those at a base level.
Yeah. So like, don't get into all the fancy injections until you at least do the low hanging fruit.
Exactly.
I think I see a lot of people do that. They're like, I'm just going to inject all these peptides and do all this stuff. And they're not even doing the low hanging fruit, like eating the right number of meals or so it's all kind of for nothing.
Exactly. And so like all that stuff in and of itself, once again, all good, like the peptides create angiogenesis, blood flow throughout the system, reduce inflammation. But like even for your shoulder, if we inject all the peptides and stuff into there, yet we're not changing the way the joint's being loaded, what's the point? You know, we can heal the tissue, right? But then we're just gonna go back to square one and maybe you can get it back to a baseline, but that's not what it's about. It's like superseding that baseline and setting a new bar.
It's interesting.
What would you say to somebody who's listening to this and they're like excited to go on the journey, but also intimidated to be like, yes, I really, really want to like set these standards for myself. How would you describe to them what type of life and mind, like mental kind of like shifts are waiting for them on the other side of becoming someone who identifies as like a very fit person with high standards?
Well, I think they, are you talking about somebody?
Who might that be, Lori?
Oh no, I literally was talking to myself. In all honesty, I was like, tell me more. Tell me what else is waiting.
At the end of the day, like I think as humans, we're pretty simple. We want to look, feel, and perform better. Like look better naked, perform well, the things that we want to do from an activity level, and just feel good naturally. And so we have to provide a gift of contrast to them from a mindset standpoint. So most people actually don't even know what it's like to feel good. That's the issue.
Ouch.
Mhm.
That's the issue. Because like, a high-paced lifestyle, you're burning the candle at both ends. You think you're trucking along and moving at what's supposed to be quote unquote normal. I can't tell you how many guys that I work with that have like just chronic pain issues
Yeah.
and stuff.
Wow.
And they just like, they assume that that's just part of the everyday
Mhm.
life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
until you give them some things that start to shift that.
Mm-hmm.
So-
I grew up in a family like that. Like they are all in pain all the time since I can remember.
Mm-hmm. And that's usually the big motivating factor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like, yes, we can do some of this like manual therapy and hands-on work and stuff to establish some pain relief. Because typically when people are feeling less pain, they're more motivated to keep going. And so it's about giving them those kind of pieces of low-hanging fruit and then starting to establish these more robust lifestyle changes later on that keep it going. So I want you guys to feel better week after week, month after month, knowing that the way I describe this to people, it's kind of like a squiggly line on a graph.
Mm-hmm.
Type of a thing. Like you're gonna keep getting better, but there's gonna be days where you're feeling down. Even when recovering from injury, you're gonna have days where actually you're moving really well, but your pain is higher. There are gonna be other days where you don't have any pain, yet you feel like you're moving like dog shit.
Yeah.
And so they're not necessarily like linear like that or correlated. And so the point is that every day we're still getting better when we're trending upwards and all that.
So to start to put a bow on this thing, first question for somebody who touts themselves as a doctor of physical therapy and works with Olympians and Navy SEALs, you have incredibly small arms. Does that ever show up as an insecurity?
His arms are like tree trunks. So.
Okay, no, real question. For the average person listening, right? They're an entrepreneur. They just want to be healthy and wealthy. What are 3 either habits, traits, or moves they could borrow from your Olympians and Navy SEALs?
Ooh, stay consistent is a big one. That's kind of like a mindset piece though, too. But whatever mode of action you're going to be taking, whatever type of workout that you're going to be doing, stay consistent with it. It's not about burning it down every single day. It's more about the little, like the way you would eat a whale, one bite at a time.
Yeah.
And so it's little small efforts that build up over time that make for the great success. I call them movement snacks.
Yeah.
So we have our workouts, right? But if you can implement little movement stacks, little mobility drills throughout the day that are like 3 to 5 minutes here, like when you're standing at your desk, something to do on the floor, those little bouts of a stimulus or a dose, think about it as like a dose, those are what add up over time.
I thought you were saying movement snacks.
That's
I
what
did say
thought.
movement snacks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
and then I
say
heard
movement
stacks. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm hearing snacks.
I like
They can be
snacks.
stacks too. Snacks are way better.
Yeah, snacks are
So we
way
have
better.
our full meal of the training session, but then yes, the little
All right, so
movement snacks.
consistent snacks.
This is why
Number
Chris
one.
is still with you.
Throughout the day.
All the snacks.
Lori, Matt said I have to have these consistent
Snacks.
snacks. Okay, so the first one's consistency.
Yes.
What's the second and third, either trait, move, or habit?
The next trait I think would be to be eating enough. Eating enough.
It's a good one.
Because most men
Undereat.
undereat.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so starting at a base level of getting enough protein in is number one. Like that, they regulate your energy. It regulates your energy. It regulates how full you feel. And it also helps regulate the hormones as well. So if we can get enough protein in throughout the day, and so for me, I'm 215 pounds. I'm eating around 215 to 240 grams of protein a day, just as a base level to keep myself what I have now with these arms. Now, if I want to get bigger arms like you,
Yeah.
then I'm going to go ahead and have to bump that up a little bit.
Of course.
Okay.
Maybe double it.
Maybe 300-400 grams
Exactly.
of protein to get to your level. Do you offer tickets to the gun show today to everybody else?
They're sold out.
Okay, sold out.
Sold
They're sold out.
Fantastic.
What's the third trait?
The third trait, so we got our movement snacks. We've got our eating enough. And then the big one is going to be the sleep component. Sleep, but it's not about getting enough. It's more so about your consistency and your timing once again.
Do you recommend someone get like a Whoop or something to track their sleep?
Or a Ring, Whoop, whatever, the Garmin watch. They're all great. Some are better than others. Like the Oura Ring has the best, I think, in the way of data collection, and they have the less error rate on them just because of the way they're designed. But it's really not more so about that. It's more so about trends over time. So whatever data you're collecting, are you looking at this over a long run and then understanding how the patterns are playing out? That's a big piece. And like just to kind of hammer home the sleep stuff, it's more important that you like go to bed at a consistent time, get up at a consistent time, than it is about getting like a solid 8 hours.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
like if you're going to go from 10 to 6 at
Yeah.
night, and there is an anabolic window in there too.
Yeah.
We produce the most amount of hormones between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Okay. So if you're not getting to sleep within there, you're missing out on a really wonderful window.
So you want to be sleeping by 10.
Sleeping by 10, ideally. Yes. Now, does that happen all the time? No, but like it's going to be a different profile. If you go to bed at midnight and get up at 8, yes, you're still getting 8 hours, but you're also missing 2 hours of that window.
This is interesting because those are 3 things that anyone could do. And they might hear that like, how big of a
So
difference
simple.
can those make? Consistency and eat more and sleep. Like I was looking for the real hacks, bro. But
Those are
that
the real
really
hacks.
is the real hacks right there. That is the bedrock
It is.
of you being able to really live into a life of health and energy or not. So kind of as a closing question, I know that you don't work with many civilians, but you do a couple of them. And you're willing to travel to them. You have kind of a really cool monthly program. And I know it's really limited. I mean, I think you have room for 2 people, maybe. And I don't even know if you're taking 2 or not. I just know that when we've had conversations, you're like, oh, I think I could get up to this with my schedule. And you're willing to try, like you fly to a certain royal family that we won't name overseas and work with them all the time. You fly to a family in London all the time. So no matter where they're listening from, if somebody is a mega high performer and they want to work with you, how do they get a hold of you? What should they do?
The best way to get a hold of me is going to be through email. It's going to be our best.
Okay.
Best
Give that
Matthew
email.
Matthew@rootedinmovement.com.
Say it again slower.
Matthew, 2 T's, at rootedinmovement.com.
Rootedinmovement.com.
ROOTEDINMVMNT.
Matthew with 2 T's at rootedinmovement.com.
We'll put it in the show notes, you guys.
I thought I was being so freaking clever with that whole movement thing, movement, vitality, mindset, nutrition, and training. And then I say, and people are like, what?
Yeah, terrible. Terrible. We got to fix
Terrible.
it.
We got to rebrand.
And Instagram, where can they find you?
Instagram's great. At Rooted in Movement.
At
as well.
Rooted in Movement.
Yes. Lots of shirtless videos on there.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
ladies, just go for the shirtless videos. I know. I just saw
They're going to be
Kaylee just
breaking
looking up right now.
They're going to be like breaking their knees and their arms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I broke my knee. I need you to come work on me.
When's my flight?
All right, guys, we have put everything in the show notes. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This has been
appreciate you,
wonderful.
buddy.
Yeah,
I appreciate
grateful
both
for
of
you.
too.